Okay, we've taken the old roof off, and as you can see, we've left the lead in, but we'll put another groove in at the top. That lead will go in there, but at the moment we're just making a template up, and we're going to fix the whole roof on in one go, and so it'll be easier. And we shouldn't need a pole here anymore. Making a template on a piece of old board so that we get the shape right of the roof, and then we cut them to that shape. So we've got the notch there and the shape there, and that will go to the base plate on here. We've knocked together like so, and the rafter goes up and the wall plate across the top. Trying to use all kinds of offcuts of bit of wood to save money. Wall plate on the wall, bolted to the wall with bolts. 8mm bolts.
8mm, yeah.
8mm bolts you can get from any hardware store. We put 4 in. Not really holding a great load of weight, but it's stronger with bolts and screws. Cutting a tile down is made easy by getting a tile with a groove down it. These are half tiles. You cut this one in half, and then that can be used on each side, as I'm going to show you now. One tile goes this side, and I put the other tile the other side, making sure that they're lined up at the edge, ready for pointing. Just a final check through to see what they're all in line, as I'm doing here, making sure that each side is about 1 inch or 2 inch over. Tiles come up to the top, the lead will come back down over onto the tiles, and will seal it from the weather. I need some soffit pieces that go under there that come out, and then you point it up and finish the edge there. Because the tiles come to the end here, we're going to put matchboarding on this side, but because the tiles need to finish, what we use is a soffit strip. You get this from any DIY store or builder's merchant. It's got a rough edge and a smooth edge, and this is called a soffit strip, so it goes underneath here so that you can put cement on. All the laths on the edge are not nailed down, so that what we can do is slip this in. When the tiles come over, like this, ensure that the tile goes on, and now I can adjust the soffit strip to the tile. If you nail the lath down on the end of the rafter, you can't put these under, so that has to be left unnailed. Back on. Now is that we can point the cement into this and finish the edge of the tiles off. And again, we're putting matchboarding down here to close this gap off. Okay. Right, I've taken off the old lead off the roof, but it isn't tall enough to go up the wall and over the tiles. It's too narrow. So I've got a larger piece of lead that I found lying around, and what I've done, because of the shape of the roof, I've cut it out, and I've made a makeshift platform like this. You can see I had the 2 pieces of wood, put my lead on it, and I've got the joint, so I've come up above for the joint, 10mm joint. I've got a lead beater. So beat it to shape. And I've left 10mm at the top, if you have a look here. And then what we do, we just that goes into the joint. And we can start cutting it in a little bit. Right, I brought the lead up that we've beat just on the stand. I put a piece of wood under it like this, that was like a floorboard, this is, so that the groove that we've tucked over goes into the joint that we've cut with a disc cutter. And this wood keeps it straight. So now it's gone into the groove nicely, and I've just got to tap it home. It goes into the groove like this. There's something else I need to show you. Because it'll pull out, what we use is strips of lead like this that we cut with our cutters. And we cut little bits like this off. Fold it over. This plugs it into the wall. Tap it flat there. Put it into the joint like this. Tap it in. And it stops it pulling out as you move along. Get your chisel and tap it in like that. Make sure it goes right in. So that you can point it afterwards, so otherwise it sticks out. If we do this all the way along, ready for pointing afterwards, that has got it in now, held in hard. I always use a lead bit like this. And we move along, doing that all the way along. And when the tile's in, you just beat it back down. And I'll show you pointing it in when we've done that. Okay, as you can see, it's tucked in, and with the joint as I showed you there, and then we've got to do them all the way along to there as I push it in. And then when I take the wood away, it'll sit nicely and tap down onto the tile. So you've got to make sure that there's at least 6 inch down the tile and 4 inch up into the brickwork, so that the rain doesn't pull back up. Water always pulls up 6 inches. It won't go up less. It won't go up more than 6 inches.
Scoring the back of the lead with a line also stops the water from going up.
You get your cement on your trowel, flatten it, do that, it should stay on, then you tuck it in, keep going along like that. Okay. Make sure it's tucked in. and then you can joint it with a jointer like this. Just punching up the eaves. And what you need is a nice stiff, let your cement go stiff, and then like I'm doing there, and we start to punch it in. It's got to be stiff as it runs out. So like this, look, like that, and then in, tuck it in. It needs to be nice and thick, deep, because it takes a lot of weather. It's a good mix. It's a pre-made mix, about 3 in 1, because the eaves gets a lot of weather.
Finishing the job now with matchboarding closes off the gap and finishes the job nicely, giving it a lovely finish.